Good morning, everybody. My name is Kenlynn, coming to you from the Desert Botanical Gardens. We're out in nature. We're gonna focus on some breath and focus on some yoga poses to really help us to calm down. So we're in this really crazy time in the world right now, and stress levels might be a little harder. Your norms are certainly shifting, and whether you're working from home, whether you are at home with kids trying to homeschool, whatever it is that you're working on right now, know that stress level is up. So we want to really try to de-stress. So bringing yourself to your mat, bringing yourself outside. You can even use a towel. If you don't have a mat, just bring yourself to seated, placing the hands onto the knees or the hands even in the laps. And just take and breathe. Close your eyes. We start to make that shift just right away from external, from chaos to calm. And we do so just by closing your eyes and breathing. And know that you don't have to breathe any particular fancy way. You can just take a natural inhale and natural exhale. But if you can, try to keep your eyes closed and breathe in and out through the nose with your lips closed. Notice the sensations in the body. Very common for when you try to slow down and be quiet, everything seems to become more active. Feelings, sensations, just be okay with them. And I would go ahead and hold right here, if you can, even up to 5 minutes. But if you can hold seated in a comfortable seat with your eyes closed, breathing even just for a few minutes, still going to be very helpful. And after that, 3 to 5 minutes has passed. Let's go ahead and I'm going to show you some physical postures that you can go into. At this time, often our hips are really very tight. So I'm going to start into a pigeon pose from a table pose. So from the hands and knees, bringing the right leg forward, the right knee towards right wrist, right foot to left wrist, and then slide your left leg all the way out behind you. Find a little length in your spine and then just start to settle in. You can go forearms down. Maybe you're just hands down. It doesn't matter. Forearms down. And maybe you have that ability to go a little deeper. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter. Find acceptance wherever you arrive. Yoga practice is not at all about ego. It's about acceptance of yourself. Well, that's your typical pigeon pose, but I would also like to demonstrate to you a pose, a figure 4 on your backside as an alternative to being in pigeon. If your knees tuck back, then take your right ankle on top of your left leg, take your hands and interlace them under the left thigh, draw in, pull it in. You can also do that same shape just by having your left foot on the mat, arms can be down at the sides, and just a natural hip opener there. Good. So I'm going to go back to the pigeon pose so we can move through. So pigeon on the right side, lift the torso up. I'd say to also hold that pigeon for a good 3 to 5 minutes. Shift to the hip, sweep the left leg to the front, draw the right foot in. And of course, guys, if you're really pressed for time, you can go through all of these much quicker. Reach the arms up, exhale, fold forward and down. So nice hamstring stretch here in this Janu Shirshasana. Right leg bends, little hip opener right. Notice a great stretch on your back. After you've held that one, lift up. Now our right leg will just pivot behind. If you can go this way, go for it. If not, you can always step back into a down dog, which is like a giant upside down V shape. Left leg bends, right leg extends. I know it's very common for each side of the body to be very different. They're not at all the same. Breathing into pigeon on the left. Again, holding it as long as you held it on the other side. So in general, yin postures, these deep stretch postures, really nice to be able to hold for 3 minutes to 5 minutes. Sometimes you can even hold them longer than that. Shift your hips to the left, right leg forward, and scoot your tailbone back a little bit before you reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Good. Let's lift back up. And I'm going through these poses quickly to show you what you can do. But know that wherever you're at, holding each one equally. Child's pose, really common pose. Today I'm going to take my toes in and knees wide. This is a comfortable one for me here. Arms can reach forward, the chest can fall between the thighs. But by all means, if that's not comfortable, you can draw your knees in. And then as your chest comes forward, your chest can rest to your thighs. Your arms can be behind, or your arms can be out in the front. From there, we're going to go ahead and slither all the way out onto the belly. Forearms are down, legs are long. Legs are pretty close together. Let the tops of the feet rest. Forearms down, press up, lengthen your spine up. This is a nice extension of the spine, and sometimes this pose actually helps if you have any issues with your discs in your low back. This one's really helpful. You're also opening up your chest and stretching out through the hip flexors and the upper quadriceps. Rectus abdominis, belly muscle stretch as well. Good. From there, lower all the way down after holding. Slide your right leg out to the right with your left ear down. You can always turn your head the other way, but I find that this is a pretty attainable way. So as the right leg bends to the right, the left ear down, so your head is turning, getting that stretch through your head and your neck, as well as a gentle hip opener. After the hold of several breaths or a few minutes, take your left arm and reach your left arm straight out to the left. T, the palm will be down. Take your right hand to support you. Roll onto your left hip. Step your right leg behind you. You have a little twist of your torso and an opening up of the left shoulder blade and the left side chest. Rolling out. This one you might hold for a little less. It's a lot of sensation on your left shoulder, so maybe a little less time here, maybe just a couple of minutes. Roll back. Good. And then if your back is okay, go ahead and switch sides. Otherwise, you can move back into child's pose, kind of decompress your back there. Left leg wide, right ear down. Turn your head to the left as that left leg opens out. Know that the longer that we hold these poses, the longer we focus on bringing ourselves to our breath, the more we can help that mental chatter to calm down, the more we can help to de-stress. Reach your right arm out to the right after the hold. Left hand can support you. Roll onto the right hip. Step your left leg behind. Now know, guys, that your legs can even step together. So if your leg won't step behind, just let your legs stagger together. You can even bend your knees. So many little different variations and layers. And now the right side body is opening. I'm going to also take the left arm and just show you how your arm can either wrap around your back, around your waist, and it just kind of can fall behind. That way you're getting a stretch and an opening up through both shoulders, both the right and the left. Every time your mind starts to wander, come back to the present, just to the moment that you're in right now. Coming back to noticing the nature sounds. From there, slowly roll back after you've held for that couple of minutes, 1 or 2, roll back onto the belly. Hands to the sides of the body. Press up and back. Might feel really good right now for your back to embrace that child's pose. Good. And shifting back forward, let's make our way to seated. Sweep the legs out in the front. This one's totally optional. Well, any of them are optional. Scoot the tailbone, reach the arms up, exhale, forward and down. This pose is actually called caterpillar, so very appropriate that we're here in nature with a nature name, caterpillar name. Good. After a hold, this one you can easily hold for a few minutes. And know that if you have trouble holding for a certain time period as far as minutes, you can always count your breaths. So an inhale and an exhale is a breath cycle. So just count the breath cycles. Lower all the way down. Draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe even a little rock side to side. And then slowly drop the knees to the right, stacking the knees a bit. Reach your left arm out to the left. Now another opening of the chest, of the shoulder, and a twist of the spine. Twist of the hips, twist of the spine. Inhale to the center. After the hold, exhale, drop to the left. Reach your right arm out to the right. Unwinding, coming back to center. One more little hug of the knees in. Bottoms of the feet together. Just for a moment, let the knees go wide. This is a butterfly shape, Botanical. And let the arms open out like a goalpost, cactus shape. Everything on the whole entire front of the body expanding and opening. Use your breath, each exhale breath, to help soften through any areas that you notice that are really gripping on. From that Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, let the legs extend, let the arms draw sides of the body. And just find a place of quiet right here. Your Shavasana, your final place of rest. And I would always suggest that this is one of the most important poses that you can go into. Holding this in a place of stillness, resist any movement. Holding for at least a few minutes. As you make your way out after a few moments, draw the knees back in. From there, drop them to the side, a fetal position. Pressing up all the way upright to seated. Cross the ankles again, wherever it feels good. Close your eyes for a moment. Just pressing that pause button one more time. Draw the palms together at the space of the heart, or Anjali Mudra. That moment of gratitude for your time to take care of you, for your time to slow down and breathe, and your time to de-stress. Take a deep inhale breath. Deep exhale breath. Thank you for practicing your yoga today out here in the garden, in nature, and I bow to you. Namaste.